For 25 years, William Hogarth has served as a prison officer and has an apparently unblemished record of service. On the morning of December the 3rd last year, he was found in one of the washrooms with a severely injured prisoner. A subsequent police investigation resulted in charges being brought against Officer Hogarth. Today, in Fulchester Crown Court, he faces trial by jury, charged with wounding with intent to cause grievous bodily harm a prisoner in his charge, Mick Johnson. Mr. Justice Campbell presides in the case of the Queen against Hogarth. Mr. Charles Lotterby appears for the prosecution. Mr. Marcus Golding for the defence.
Ribs on the left side of your chest, 2 on the right, and a skull fracture in the occipital region. And the doctor reports that you still suffer from recurring headaches and spells of dizziness. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Johnson, do you have a headache now? At this moment?
Yes.
Or are you feeling dizzy?
Yes.
Then would you please speak up so that the jury may hear your answers?
Sir.
The rib fractures, do they still pain you? Does your chest still hurt?
It's a cough, like.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want you to tell the court exactly how these injuries were incurred.
Ah.
Just take your time. Now, on December the 3rd last, just before midday, where were you?
In the bog, sir.
The witness is referring to the lavatories, my lord. The lavatories adjoining the engineering workshop. Usher, would you show the witness the plan, please? So you went to the lavatory?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I wanted to, relieve myself.
Yes. Now, there are 2 lavatories in the washroom, are there not? Which of the 2 lavatories did you go to? The one nearest the window?
Yes.
Now, why did you go to that particular lavatory?
Oh, that's the one. The drop.
Thank you, Usher.
The drop.
Yes, my lord, the drop. Drop for what?
Happies.
Happies. You mean drugs?
Yes.
Yes. So you chose that particular lavatory in the hope of finding some drugs hidden there?
Yes.
Now, where did you look?
Up top of the...
The cistern?
That's it.
Yes. And did you find anything?
Yes.
Yes. What?
Yes, sir.
No. What did you find?
Some stuff, sir.
What stuff?
I don't know.
Well, what did it look like?
Powder it was, in a screw of bump.
What colour powder?
Well, sort of whitish.
Whitish.
Could have been angel dust.
Angels what?
Fence cyclidine, my lord, also known as POP, commonly known as angel dust.
Really?
It's a powerful hallucinogenic, I believe.
Thank you, Mr. Lotterby.
So what did you do?
Well, took some, of course.
Orally? By mouth?
That's right.
And then what happened?
Well, I'd hardly taken it when the Mr. Hogarth come in, didn't he?
Johnson, I appreciate that you are still convalescing, but since your evidence could be crucial in determining the issue in this case, I insist that you give us the benefit of hearing it. In other words, speak up. Right. Mr. Lotterby.
Now, you say Mr. Hogarth entered the washroom.
Yes.
So what did you do then?
Well, I heard him say, right then, so I flushed it quick, didn't I?
You flushed the drug down the lavatory. And then?
Like I told the law. Mr. Hogarth came rushing over at me. He says, I saw you do that, and he comes rushing over.
Yes. And?
He done me over.
Johnson.
He busted me. He done me.
He busted you. He done you. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Just stay there, please.
You're not popular with the other prisoners in Fulchester, are you, Mick?
You what?
Well, don't they tend to pick on you?
Suppose so.
Yes, they pick on you, bait you, even assault you.
So what?
And Mr. Hogarth, does he pick on you too?
All the screws are on at you, aren't they?
But he never physically attacked you before the alleged incident.
No?
No. My Lord Johnson's prison record is part of the agreed documents. Perhaps this would be a good time for the jury to look at.
Very well.
Now, Johnson, isn't it true that on occasions you've actually got yourself put into solitary confinement so as to escape the tormentings of your fellow prisoners? Well, isn't that so?
If you say so.
Is it correct, Johnson?
Yes, sir.
Yes. You seek refuge in solitary. Nasty. Pathetic even. And is that why, in November last, you tipped off one of the prison officers as to the whereabouts of an illicit brewery hidden in one of the prison greenhouses? Come on, isn't it true that you grasped to the screw so as to get your own back at the other prisoners? You stopped their little brewing enterprise, didn't you? We shall have to take your silence as acknowledgement, you know.
Johnson, just answer the question, yes or no.
Yes.
Yes, you did. Now then, this business of the angel dust. You say you knew that the lavatory was used as a drop point to distribute drugs,
Yes.
and that you'd found some there.
That's right.
Yes. May the witness see his statement, please. Now, when you were in the hospital, you made this statement to Detective Sergeant Cobb of the CID, correct? Yes. Now, why did you omit from it all reference to these drugs? Well, it says simply that Mr. Hogarth came in and attacked you. Well?
Dunno.
Thank you. Look, if, as you say, you were sneaking drugs, why had you not taken the obvious precaution of locking the lavatory door?
You what?
You hadn't locked the door.
No.
No what? No, you mean you hadn't locked it?
Of course not.
Well, why? Surely, in the circumstances...
They don't have no locks, do they? Not in stir.
Oh.
They don't have no doors, neither.
Have you never been inside, Mr. Golding?
Not, I'm thankful to say, my lord, in those quarters.
My lord, the plan submitted in evidence does show that there are no doors.
Indeed it does, Mr. Lotterby.
I see. Locked doors everywhere else, but not for privacy.
That's right.
Now, if we may return to this business of the sickbed statement. The prosecution has claimed that you were still concussed. Still somewhat gaga from your head injury.
Yes, that's it.
Yes. Well, I'm going to put it to you that your account of what happened is a complete fabrication.
A what?
I'm suggesting that you've been lying to this court, Johnson, as part of a deliberate plan to frame the accused.
No.
This business of your grassing on the hooch brewing, isn't that what started it?
Hey?
The prisoner, the brewer, the man who you betrayed, he found out it was you, didn't he? He found out that you were the snout. And so he caught you in the lavatories that morning. You're going to be for a beating, Mick, he said.
My
but
lord.
remember, when they ask who did you over, tell them it was the hog, right?
My lord, this is all hearsay.
Quite so, Mr. Lotterby, but there's no possible objection to it.
My lord. Now, you duly made your sickbed statement to the police naming Mr. Hogarth, correct? Well, of course you did. We got copies of it here. And then, after the police detective, is it not possible that you had another visitor at the prison hospital? Well?
No. I don't never get no visitors.
No. Didn't someone else come and tell you to add this ingenious little embellishment about
my lord.
finding the angel dust and flushing it down the pan?
My lord,
thus providing a possible motive where before there had been none.
My lord, I must insist that my learned friend rephrase.
Well, my lord, let me put it this way for my learned friend. Was not the assault, in fact, delivered by a fellow prisoner as punishment for your betrayal of the brewing plant?
That's him. Hogarth. He's made that up, hasn't he?
Look, just answer my question. Who was it assaulted you?
It was him. Mr. Hogarth. He done...
Very well, very well. Any further questions, Mr. Golding?
No, my lord, thank you.
Mr. Lotterby?
No, my lord.
Very well, Johnson, you may leave the witness box, officer, and take him back to the holding cell.
Call Principal Officer Carrington, please.
Principal Officer Carrington, please.
You were on duty in the workshop that morning.
As usual, sir. I'm an instructor officer, General Engineering.
Ah, yes. Now, Mr. Carrington, would you please tell the jury the events as you remember them on that morning?
Yes, sir. Well, we'd had a bit of an accident up the far end of the shop. One of the lads had got careless with a welding torch and touched off some lubricating fluid. There was a bit of a flare-up.
Usher, would you, excuse me a moment, would you please show the witness the plan? Please continue.
Well, I was just about to sort it out when Vic Sneed, that's another of the prisoners, yelled for me to come quick.
Now, where was he calling from?
Outside the washrooms, about there.
And what did you do?
Well, I couldn't see Mr. Hogarth anywhere, and as Sneed was obviously urgent about something, I nipped along smartish. Sneed said something about the washroom, so I went inside.
Yes?
Well, little Johnson was lying on his back in the doorway of the father's toilet. As it turned out, he was unconscious.
Where was the accused?
Sort of, well, you know, standing over him.
Mr. Carrington, we do not know. How do you mean, standing over him?
Well, a foot on either side.
Was he striking him?
No, not at that moment, but it looked as if he just had been.
Had been?
Well, from the way he was standing, the state he was in.
Well, what sort of a state?
Well, he was upset, he was red in the face, out of breath. You see, he saw us more or less as we came in, sir, so...
Yes.
Well, he did have the time to check himself.
I see.
So you formed the definite opinion that the accused had been assaulting Johnson?
Well, not definite, no, but that is the way it looked.
He was not armed, I mean, with a truncheon.
Oh, no, sir. It was more as though he'd been kicking him.
As though he had been kicking him? Yes. Thank you, Usher. So then what happened?
Well, he turned on Sneed. He started yelling at him, calling him a bloody thug, and he said, that you're done for this time.
Said that to Sneed?
Yes.
You're done for this time. And then?
Well, I helped get Johnson stretched out on the washroom floor, and I stayed with him while Mr. Hogarth went to telephone for help. When he came back, he turned on Sneed again and said he was for the high jump.
He said Sneed was for the high jump?
Yes.
What did you do?
Well, there was only the two of us on duty. It's the usual problem, understaffing. So I took Sneed outside so I could keep an eye on the rest of the lads.
Thank you, Mr. Carrington. Now, it's been suggested that Mr. Hogarth might have caught Johnson flushing some narcotics down the lavatory. What do you say about that?
Well, he didn't say anything about that at the time.
The suggestion is that the lavatory was used as a drop point for drugs.
Oh, yes, it's true. We have found drugs up there, up on the cistern.
You have found drugs there?
Yes, about a month ago.
Thank you. Now then, prior to the incident, had the accused ever discussed the victim, Johnson, with you?
Yes, he had.
What had he said?
Well, he said that he thought that he, Johnson, that is, ought to be in a nut house.
In a mental hospital?
Yes, he reckons he's a nutcase, that he'd be better off in a nut house, a mental hospital, than upsetting things in stir.
Are you telling us the accused resented Johnson, resented his very presence in the prison?
Well, yes, but it's inevitable, really, isn't it? I mean, well, you can live with the others, the recidivists, in and out all the time for fraud or theft. I mean, even the lifers that are in for murdering the missus. I mean, you can put up with them because basically they're straight. But when it comes to sex offenders, nobody likes them. No one. Not the staff, not the inmates. And that's what Johnson was done for. Sex offences.
Now, this so-called accident you referred to, you say one of the prisoners had ignited a tin of lubricant with his welding torch and that there was a bit of a flare-up.
Yes, that's right. But it was nothing very serious.
But enough to distract you, to concentrate your attention in the corner of the workshop.
Yes, I suppose so.
Yes. So the accident could have been a deliberate distraction.
Could have been.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Carrington. Now then, you are 30 years old and already a principal officer.
Yes.
The same rank as the accused and yet 17 years younger than he is. Well, surely such a situation could make for jealousy?
Possible.
Would you describe your relationship with the accused as friendly?
We get along.
Oh, come now. The truth is that you are frequently in disagreement, is it not? If not over your age differential, then over recent reforms in the prison.
Well, from time to time, but that's something we all talk about.
Yes, there's been a major shift, has there not, from prison as a place for punishment to one of treatment. The modern prison officer is encouraged to regard himself more as a therapist than as a turnkey disciplinarian.
Well, if you mean we're concerned with working towards the prisoner's release, PRES and that, yes.
PRES?
Pre-release employment service.
Oh, aiming at effective rehabilitation.
Yes.
And Mr. Hogarth, how would you say he feels about this trend? Did he ever tell you?
Well, since you mention it, he's not too keen, is he? I mean,
yes.
Well, take the business of the lock-in.
The prison officers worked to rule last year.
Yes, well, that wasn't just about cash. That was a protest against working conditions, 20% understaffing, 30% overcrowding. That's bound to be detrimental to the treatment of the prisoners.
And to their rehabilitation?
Yes, their whole relationship with the staff.
And Mr. Hogarth?
Well, he didn't give a damn, did he? Well, I mean, to hell with the POA, to hell with the union. There was no overtime ban for him. And why? Because he doesn't like changes. And because he thinks it's wet nursing to treat a prisoner like a human being.
You don't think there's a danger of some prison officers, particularly younger ones, hiding behind these reforms as an alternative to exerting their authority? Taking the easy way out, in fact?
Well, yes, of course, but that's what he reckons, isn't it? That's wet nursing.
Quite so. And also the danger that the more reform-conscious could let themselves be conned by some of the old lags.
Conned?
Well, isn't there a tendency to turn a blind eye to some of the illicit activities, such as trafficking in hooch, some of the milder narcotics, such as pot, in return for a more relaxed relationship with the prisoners?
Now, look here, I don't
My
really
lord,
think
I must
that
object to this whole line of questioning.
Yes?
Well, my learned friend seems to be insinuating that the more progressive officers, such as Mr. Carrington, are prepared to effect deals with the prisoners.
Mr. Golding?
Well, whether or not such deals occur, my lord, my intention was
My
merely...
friend's intention seems to be to slur the character of the witness.
My intention, my lord, is merely to demonstrate the friction existing between these two men. My contention is that Mr. Carrington had a deep-rooted dislike of the accused, and that this might have prejudiced his assessment of what he saw on entering the washroom.
Yes, but I think you've sufficiently canvassed that point, Mr. Golding, don't you agree?
As your lordship pleases. Is it not true that you had an affair with the accused wife, Betty Hogarth?
Good Lord, no.
Well, did you not early last summer have a bitter altercation with the accused over the attentions you've been paying his wife?
Yes, well, it is quite true that we did have a row. But
yes, the row followed a social evening at the Staff Recreation Centre?
Yes, it was at the Staff
You'll
Recreation
admit that Mrs.
Centre,
Hogarth has a certain reputation for flightiness.
No, look here, I
The row
really
is
don't
yet
think
another
that
example.
Protest. It would be nice if the witness was at least allowed to answer the original question.
Quite so. Mr. Golding, the law is not a monologue. Well, Mr. Carrington?
Well, yes, it's true we did have a row about his wife, sir, but it had nothing at all to do with an affair. I was having a go at Betty because of his attitude to our work to rule.
Having a go?
Well, she was his wife, sir. I thought she might help bring him round to supporting us. He was blacklegging, sir.
So you were simply trying to recruit her help?
Yes, of course. He took it the wrong way. I mean, he took it that I was... Well, you know that I was chatting her up, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Golding?
Well, whatever your true object, the incident was nevertheless yet another source of friction, was it not?
I suppose so.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Carrington.
This conflict over the reforms in the prison, was it solely between yourself and Mr. Hogarth?
Oh, no, not at all. There's quite a lot of younger staff joined lately since Mr. Price became the governor. Of course, to hear him talk, he reckons we're all a load of twits.
I see.
Look, he's an old guard screw, isn't he? And his type do more harm than good in a modern prison.
Thank you, Mr. Carrington.
Except that Fulchester is not a modern, purpose-built prison, is it?
I was meaning the administration. Modern ideas and methods.
Ah.
Well, now my friend has finished his second cross-examination. Perhaps your lordship would like to ask some questions?
No, thank you, Mr. Otterby. Very well, Mr. Carrington, you may leave the witness box. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
My last witness is Victor Alfred Sneed.
Victor Alfred Sneed, please.
And you are currently serving a prison sentence for fraud.
Doing a 5 stretch, yes, sir.
What sort of fraud?
Well, I've been working the fencing game, see? Me and a partner. Oh, you want me to, spell it out for you?
If you would.
Well, simply, we'd pick up some flush mug in a boozer, con him into believing that we was unloading hot merchandise, you know, flog him a bit, on the cheap, just as a sweetener, say a bottle of scotch for £1, and then take him to the cleaners for the bulk delivery.
Take him...
Cash in advance, say £50 or a ton, and then just scarp up.
I see, so you were playing on the latent dishonesty and greed of these mugs.
Oh, that's it, sir, yeah.
It's not the most antisocial of crimes.
Oh, certainly not, sir.
No. Now, would you tell the court, on the morning of the 3rd of December last, were you in the prison's engineering workshop?
Spraying, as usual.
Spraying?
Paint on the bars. Well, it's natural, isn't it? You got a workshop, you got to make something. We make bars, prison bars. Well, more grids, really, for the new prison out at Consworth.
Very practical, and it's your job to spray the grids with paint.
Mum thin, mum fat. Gets on your chest and all, I can tell you.
Yes, I'm sure. Now, would you tell the court what happened that morning shortly before midday?
Sure. Well, young Mick, that's Mick Johnson, well, he's my little mate, see? Well, all right. He's not quite Mensa IQ, but that's how it goes, isn't it? Mick and me look after each other. Well, as you say, about midday, Mick takes off for a leak. Well, he's hardly in there when I sees Mr. Hogarth going there after him, and the fact is, this worries me.
Why exactly?
Well, because I know young Mick's got his little weaknesses.
For what?
He's a junk artist, isn't he, you know, for the drugs. And knowing him, I reckon he's in there fingering the drop.
You'd heard there might be drugs hidden in the lavatory?
Well, might be, yeah. When I sees Mr. Hogarth go in there after him, I reckon it could be trouble.
I see. So then?
Well, I'll leave it a couple of minutes and then I'd take a butcher's.
And what did you see?
Mr. Hogarth. He was tearing into young Mick something rotten. Of course, I didn't hang about. I ran straight out and called Mr. Carrington. He come down good and quick. By the time we got back in there, young Mick was out cold.
I see.
Of course, the minute he sees us, Mr. Hogarth starts trying to stick me with it, pointing a finger, calling me a bleating fag and that.
Yes, so we've been told. Just one more thing, Mr. Steed. From what you said, are we to take it you've adopted a protective role towards Johnson?
That's what this life's for, isn't it?
Well, this being so, why, when you first looked into the washroom and saw the assault, why didn't you go straight in to his assistance?
What, you mean assault a prison officer? Oh, well, I mean, there are limits, aren't there?
Limits?
Look, if I'd have gone straight in there on me jack sure as nuts, I'd have got done for screwing Mr. Hogarth. I'd have been on me Todd to do a thing like that.
You were afraid of being falsely accused of an unprovoked assault on Hogarth.
That's what he would have liked, wouldn't he? He could have said he was defending himself. You don't take risks with his type. Not a nutcase screw like him.
The case of the Queen against Hogarth will be resumed tomorrow in the Crown Court. Principal Officer William Hogarth stands accused in Fulchester Crown Court of wounding with intent to cause grievous bodily harm one of the prisoners in his charge. At yesterday's hearing, the injured man, Mick Johnson, told the court he'd been sneaking drugs in one of the prison's toilets when Hogarth caught and assaulted him. The next witness, Principal Officer Carrington, confirmed that after being called to the scene by one of the other prisoners, Victor Sneed, he had found the accused alone with the unconscious Johnson. Sneed, currently in the witness box, claims to have seen the actual assault. Defence counsel Mr. Golding is cross-examining.
And you've been studying accountancy?
Evenings, like. Of course, what with the spraying all day and the conditions in Fulchester, you've got to be a raving genius to get on and improve your mind with that lot.
The conditions?
Well, overcrowding is free, sometimes 4 to a cell. No privacy, no staff to run proper classes. I mean, typical, isn't it? Give you all this crap about rehabilitation, but when it comes down to it, sorry, mate, no can do.
Frustrating.
You're right, you're absolutely right.
And I believe you've also achieved a higher status among the other prisoners, have you not?
How's that?
Or isn't it true they tend to come and consult you about their appeals against sentence, for instance? Aren't you somewhat of a cell block lawyer?
Well, only with what I've picked up over the years, mind.
Yes, and presumably this status was also behind your militancy during the riots.
How's that?
In 1972, the
yeah, the protests.
You were you not, one of the principal organisers?
Well, see, that was a matter of basic human dignity.
Ah.
The rotten grub, the slopping out, the banging up, the strips, letter censoring. Do you know in Fulchester, we get half hour a month visiting. Half hour a month. Don't matter what the Home Office says about 1 hour minimum.
I see. And is it not a fact that your actions over these protests, as you call them, isn't it true that these brought you into sharp conflict with Principal Officer Hogarth?
Well, not with him particularly, more his soul. Well, yeah, bound to, wasn't it? I mean, his type belongs to the old bread and water, no talking days, eh? He'd have us all back sewing mailbags if he had his way. Inmates is scum to him.
Scum?
Yeah. Animals. Fitted for no more rights than an herd of cattle.
Yes, and prisoners' rights, as we've heard, are a speciality of yours.
Well, why not?
Oh, indeed. But then rights and privileges are also something that can be abused, aren't they?
What?
Weren't you abusing the home visiting privilege when you were caught with that package of cannabis resin late last summer? And was it Mr. Hogarth who caught you with that cannabis?
Well, for a start, it wasn't even my grass. He planted it on me.
Ah. Loss of 18 months remission. Moved from among the relatively trusted prisoners into Category B cell block.
Yeah, that's right.
Tougher in there, isn't it? Up to 15 hours a day locked in your cells, longer at weekends, far less recreational facilities, limited television. No wonder you disliked Mr. Hogarth. He caught you out, didn't he? Caught you abusing your precious privileges.
So I paid for that, didn't I? Or am I on trial again?
Well, let's be fair. Let's remember that you were also a man anxious to improve himself, the studier, the cell block lawyer, the man of influence, respected by his fellows. Aren't you, in fact, what is known as a baron?
That I wouldn't know.
Oh, come now, surely. If prisoners want something, some speed pills, a joint, some stir-brewed hooch, isn't it to you that they come?
They are. Just who's on trial here, me lord?
Just answer the question, Sneed, yes or no.
No.
Sneed, would it be fair to describe you as a man of initiative, an opportunist?
Well, of course, you've got to preserve your identity, your individuality. They're very hot on all that. All them social workers are.
Particularly with regard to a man's rehabilitation?
Well, why not?
Yes. And one thing does puzzle me, though, how you come to be doing a 5-year stretch for what my colleague, I think, described as the non-antisocial crime of fraud. 5 years seems a very heavy sentence.
Well, pro, ain't I?
A professional. Oh, you mean you're a recidivist, consistently in and out of prison?
Well...
Yes, how many times have you in fact been sentenced?
10, sir.
10 prison sentences in what, 20 years? This revered goal of rehabilitation isn't quite your thing, is it, Sneed?
Look, mister, the first porridge I ever done, I was lucky to get out alive, I was. Lucky to get out alive, let alone reformed.
Ah, and is that the kind of porridge you get in Fulchester?
Well, Mr. Price, the governor, he's trying all right, but what chance does he stand with hard case screws like him about, eh?
Ah, yes, and also while he's got the cells full of a lot of old lag recidivists like you, eh? Men who simply abuse the privileges he offers them.
Well, for a start, Hogarth wouldn't offer rope to a drowning man. I'd like to see you try it doing time. See how you come out of it. Start a new life.
Sneed, just answer the question.
Yes, me lord. Sorry, Mr. Golding, sir, no offence. It's just that it's easy for you to make us look like dirt.
Surely, Sneed, the point is that as long as there are old lags in prison like you, there will have to be tough, discipline-conscious prison officers like Mr. Hogarth to keep you in order.
If you say so, sir.
Oh, but I do. You see, I'm suggesting that men like you welcome the prison reforms. Welcome them because they can mean a slackening of discipline, an opportunity of enhancing your little empires. And you particularly dislike the tough, hard-working staff like Mr. Hogarth because they know the tricks that you are up to. They have to be fought, don't they, Sneed? fought and, if possible, discredited, if not destroyed. Well?
Look, sir, you don't fight the screws, not in stir. Not if you know what's good for you. Anyway, can you imagine Mick Johnson picking a fight with Hogarth?
And I'm sure you, of all people, would know that, since you yourself have been involved in several prior investigations into assaults on prisoners.
Cleared, weren't I?
Weren't two of them involving assaults on Johnson?
My lord, I must protest most vigorously. The witness was, as he has said, cleared of those assaults.
Is that true, Sneed?
As I'll stand here, my lord.
Then that is not a legitimate question, Mr. Golding, is it? It has no bearing if Sneed was cleared of the charges.
Very well, my lord. Nevertheless, Mr. Sneed, I suggest that until you were removed into Category B cell block, Johnson was your fag.
You what?
Your fag, your servant.
No, sir.
And as such, he knew of your illicit brewing activities in one of the prison's greenhouses, and he anonymously tipped off the authorities.
I don't know what you're on about.
Because of this, you owed the little man a beating.
But Mick Johnson had nothing to do with that. Or if he did, it's the first I've heard of it.
You cornered him in the workshop washroom. You told him he was for it, but that you'd go easy on him if he promised to name Officer Hogarth as his assailant.
Look, you said yourself it was an anonymous tip-off.
You deliberately sought to frame this man, to frame him out of vengeance.
But, no, I mean, what do I say?
Yes or no will suffice, Sneed.
Well, of course it's no. I still don't know what he's bothering about.
Well, we shall see. No more questions, my lord. Thank you.
Mr. Lotterby, you wish to re-examine?
No, my lord.
Very well, officer. Return him to the holding cell, please.
That concludes the case for the prosecution, my lord.
Thank you. Very well, Mr. Golding.
My lord, the first offence witness is the accused Principal Officer William Hogarth. Would you be so kind as to step into the box, please? During your 25 years with the prison service, have you ever been convicted of any act of violence or disciplined for improper treatment of a prisoner?
Never, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Hogarth. Would you show the witness the plan, please? Now, were you on duty in the prison engineering shop on the morning of November the 3rd, December the 3rd last?
I was, sir.
Yes. Would you please tell the court what happened there shortly before midday?
Yes, sir. Well, like Mr. Carrington said in evidence, there was this disturbance up at the welding end of the shop. After noting the situation, I stationed myself by the main entrance here.
And why there?
Well, in my experience, accidents of that nature often turn out to be something else.
Planned diversions, you mean?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I see there's an alarm bell by the main entrance here and also a clear view of the entire shop.
I see. And then?
I saw the prisoner Sneed outside the washrooms. He was hanging about. I was suspicious. I called out to him.
Excuse me, what were you suspicious about?
Sneed has a reputation as a drugs baron. I reckon he could have been waiting there for a drop. I told him to accompany me into the washroom. The moment I entered, I saw Johnson lying in the doorway of the furthest toilet.
Yeah, thank you, Usher. Yes?
I made an error of procedure at that point, sir. I should have marched Sneed straight outside and called on Mr. Carrington's assistance.
But instead, you went to the aid of the injured man.
Oh, yes, I was surprised to see Johnson lying there on the floor. I went there and I tried to get him up. Well, next thing, Sneed's in there with Mr. Carrington. Of course, I could see Johnson was in a pretty bad way. And because of this, I expressed some anger at the prisoner, Sneed, both then and after I returned from telephoning for the medics. As I recall, I threatened the man with severe disciplinary action.
You had formed the opinion that he was guilty of this assault.
Oh, there was no shadow of doubt in my mind, sir, and nor is there now.
Yes, but you say that when you spoke to Sneed and asked him what he'd been up to, he answered you casually.
Yes.
Yes, and then accompanied you without resistance to the washroom.
Yes, sir.
Well, he had, by your account, just beaten up Johnson, and you say he was quite composed.
Well, from his behaviour, sir, he must have been acting according to a preconceived plan.
A plan?
Yes, he wanted me to be caught with his victim so as he could implicate me with the attack.
And have you any idea why he should have wished to do this?
Yes, must have been out of vengeance. As you said earlier, I caught Sneed with that cannabis last year.
And that could have motivated him to try and frame.
Oh, yes, he's not the sort of person who'd take a thing like that.
His pride, you mean?
His rating with the other prisoners, sir. He took a knocking getting caught with those drugs. If he can finish me with this trial, he is back on top. Cock of the roost.
I see. Now then, you've heard Johnson's evidence about finding this angel dust and flushing it down the lavatory. What have you to say to that?
Well, that's a lie, sir. As you said earlier, Johnson used to be Sneed's fag. Anything Sneed told him to say, he'd say it.
Even to the extent of falsely accusing you of assaulting him? Even that?
Certainly, sir. I mean, that is all part of the code in prison.
All part of the prisoner's code? Yes, thank you, Mr. Hogarth.
Yes. So you'll agree that you are obsessed with fighting the drugs racket.
Hardly obsessed, sir.
Or let me rephrase, you have been deeply committed to stamping out drug abuses.
Yes.
Yes. Now, we heard that you've never been convicted for any sort of violence, but I'd like to refer you to a case in your army service in Hong Kong. You were court-martialed, were you not, for assaulting a soldier whom you suspected of passing drugs?
My lord, I must object. The witness was cleared of that charge and, as he has said, has no conviction.
Mr. Lotterby, that question is not legitimate, is it, any more than was Mr. Golding's question to Sneed not more than 10 minutes ago?
Very well, my lord. Nevertheless, Mr. Hogarth, this drug episode in the prison involved you in something of a vendetta with Sneed, did it not?
I suppose you could put it that way.
Hence Sneed's motive, you tell us, for framing you with the assault.
That's right.
Thank you. So why, in your statement to the detective investigating the case and later at the committal proceedings, why did you omit all reference to this? Perhaps you've forgotten what you said in your statement. I'll read it to you, shall I? I saw Sneed hanging around outside the washrooms. I called to him and then went in. I found Johnson unconscious on the floor, etc., etc. It was obvious to me that Sneed had committed the assault. End of story. None of these bizarre contrivances about being framed, about Sneed getting back at you in order to get back on top as cock of the roost. Well?
I wasn't called on to elaborate in the initial statement.
Elaborate, yes. Well, that's certainly what you're doing, isn't it? A most ingenious elaboration, contriving a motive for Sneed where before there was none. Let's examine the new version, shall we? Now, you say you made an error of procedure in going first to the injured man. But this story of yours about being framed, it simply doesn't add up, does it? You see, Sneed's whole plan would have depended upon you, a prison officer of 25 years' experience, making an error of procedure.
Well, he hadn't necessarily planned it like that.
Like what?
Well, he might have hoped I wouldn't see him.
We didn't see him do anything, did you? Now, Mr. Hogarth, I put it to you that this whole framing story of yours is a fabrication. A recent fabrication, one in which you've conveniently dreamed up since the committal proceedings.
Oh, no. And look, if you want a recent fabrication, what about Johnson's story about the drugs? He didn't mention them in his initial statement either, did he? No, he just said I caught him in there and beat him for no reason.
Is that perhaps why you too felt obliged to keep your initial statement to a bare, unadorned minimum?
Well, in a way, I suppose. Look, I didn't know he was going to start trotting out all these lies about finding drugs and flushing them down the pan.
So you hoped that even now he'd be too frightened of the consequences to mention the drugs?
There were no drugs.
But you've just told us you suspected there were.
I was wrong.
How about the vendetta?
I didn't mention that in the initial statement because I could see it wouldn't help.
Wouldn't help?
Could maybe have seemed to show me up as, well, prejudiced against Sneed.
Oh, well, it does that. It certainly does that, Mr. Hogarth. Right, well, perhaps we should talk about the victim, Johnson. You don't like him much, do you?
I wouldn't say I dislike him. Pity him, maybe.
Oh, come, you heard Mr. Carrington's evidence. The 6 offenders are everyone's whipping boy.
Well, among the prisoners, I suppose. Even 1 or 2 of the staff.
Do you deny saying that Johnson should be in a nut house?
Certainly I said that. And the same applies to several of the other inmates.
Well, then.
It doesn't mean to say I pick on him. I mean, all right, so he wets his bed, has screaming nightmares, breaks things and so on. You don't pick on a man for that. Not when you know he can't help it. What he needs is treatment.
As opposed to punishment?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I gather that's rather a recurring theme between you and your colleagues, is it not?
What is?
This issue of punishment versus treatment.
I was talking about Johnson.
Yes, and now I'm talking about the other prisoners. You see, one has this image of the old hard-line prison officer as a man of inflated power, a little Hitler lording it over the inmates.
Yeah, well, a lot of people have that idea. Look, we are doing a tough job with a lot of men who resent being inside. They resent the law, they resent authority in any form. No matter how you treat them, they'll always call you Hitler.
Yes, well, I'm sure that's true, but isn't it also true that you are in conflict with the more progressive of your colleagues?
Some of the younger ones, yeah.
And basically, over the introduction of these reforms we heard Mr. Carrington discussing,
Yeah.
have you not tended to resist reforms?
I don't know, resist. Look, Fulchester is an old county prison housing a mixed bag of criminals without the staff quota or other facilities for reform. Reforms just make for frustration.
Yes. Well, I put it to you, officer, that you have felt increasingly isolated and frustrated in your job, cheated of promotion. And it was in this mood that you came upon the prisoner Johnson, a man whom you always despised, came upon him in the very act of flushing drugs down the lavatory. And as you stood there watching the evidence wash away before your eyes, all the bitterness inside you erupted into violence. And whatever the reason, you seized that unfortunate little man, beat him about the body and flung him to the ground with such violence that you fractured his skull. And you did this knowing that it would be your word against his should there be any comeback. But unfortunately for you, there was a witness to this attack, and that witness had the presence of mind to call Principal Officer Carrington. Now that is the truth, is it not?
No, sir. Look, I have been a prison officer for 25 years, and it's a sacred rule that you never attack a prisoner.
25 years. Years of increasing isolation and frustration. No more questions, Ron.
Golding, do you wish to re-examine?
I do indeed, my lord. Mr. Hogarth, you've told us how and why the prisoner Sneed intended to frame you with this assault.
Yes.
Yes, and now the prosecution is suggesting that this is a recent fabrication which you have dreamed up since the committal proceeding. Now, is that true?
No, it's not, sir.
No. Now, we've heard what you said in your initial statement, perhaps understandably a rather scant description of the events, but did you at that time mention to anyone, a colleague perhaps, that you knew Sneed was trying to frame you?
Well...
Anyone at all?
As a matter of fact, there was one person, yes.
Yes, who was it?
My wife, sir.
Oh, I see. My lord, I shall, of course, take steps to call Mrs. Hogarth to confirm this, but does your lordship have any more questions?
No, thank you. Mr. Hogarth, you may return to the dock. Thank you.
My lord.
And until Mrs. Hogarth's presence can be secured, I would like to call Mr. Price, the prison governor, as a character.
Harold John Price, please. Please come this way, please.
What is your religion?
Roman Catholic.
Take the Bible in your right hand and read aloud the words on this card.
I swear by Almighty God.
Hello? Could I speak to Mrs. Betty Hogarth, please?
And the accused's record of service?
Beyond reproach. He is a discipline officer, and as such involved with perhaps the least rewarding aspect of prison work.
Excuse me, but why is that?
Pardon? Ah, yes. Well, the discipline officers tend to bear the brunt of the inmates' grievances, their resentments, their gestures of individuality. Hence, the DOs are often the least popular.
And the slur in achieving promotion?
Not necessarily. The opportunities are the same for all.
Well, you see, Governor, we've heard it suggested that Mr. Hogarth has been cheated of promotion.
Not cheated, surely.
Well, still, a principal officer at 47.
This could be simply a reflection of his difficulty at passing exams. The amount of overtime he does, I suppose, is not all that surprising.
Then he is keen on his work.
He's never objected to the workload, but then he's not the type to voice grievances.
Yes, not a union man.
On the contrary.
And despite his slow promotion, his record of service, you say, is beyond reproach.
Yes.
Yes, you see, because it has been also suggested that he is at odds with the prison's administration.
Well, if so, this could be over the issue of discipline.
Yes?
We're tending to lay less emphasis on obedience nowadays, trying to improve the social climate in prison. Could be he finds this disturbing.
Particularly since firm discipline is consistent with the best traditions of the prison service?
I suppose so.
Yes. A code of tradition to which Mr. Hogarth is rigidly loyal, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I would. Unreservedly.
Unreservedly, yes. And implicit in that code is also the rule that an officer shall never strike a prisoner.
Other than in self-defense, yes.
Yes. Thank you, Governor.
Mr. Price, would you describe the accused as an ideal prison officer?
Perhaps not ideal.
No, he's the old hardline disciplinarian, isn't he?
Now, look.
He's the type who tends to jeopardize rehabilitation prospects by alienating inmates and staff.
Look. So he's not perfect. But it'll still need a very long time and far bigger cash allocations from the Home Office before we can dispense with his type.
Oh, surely if you're aiming at reforms...
Aiming, yes, but far from achieving, and until we are... Well, take this drugs nonsense. The whole climate in prison lends itself to drug abuses. But for the vigilance of certain discipline officers, like Bill Hogarth, things could get wildly out of hand.
Governor, can you confirm that there was a rash of violence last autumn in the Category B cell block?
Yes.
Yes. Were you not forced to make it the subject of an inquiry?
Yes, I was.
Did the inquiry find anything to implicate the accused in any way?
No.
Didn't it find that the pattern of disorder coincided precisely with Officer Hogarth's duty shift?
That could hardly be said to implicate him.
Nevertheless, wasn't he moved off that shift? Moved on to day duty in the prison workshops?
The entire shift was moved to other work, all 8 officers.
But including the accused?
Yes.
One of the more senior and presumably more responsible officers present?
Yes.
The case of the Queen against Hogarth will be resumed tomorrow in the Crown Court. Principal Officer William Hogarth stands accused of wounding with intent to cause grievous bodily harm Mick Johnson, an inmate at Fulchester Prison. Johnson has said that Hogarth beat him up after he caught him flushing narcotics down a workshop toilet, and a fellow prisoner, Victor Sneed, claims to have witnessed the assault. Yesterday, however, the accused man claimed that in fact it was Sneed who had beaten up Johnson, his prison fag, as part of a deliberate scheme to frame Hogarth. Currently in the witness box is the prison governor, Harold Price, called as a character witness.
Sterling, do you wish to re-examine?
I do, my lord, thank you. Governor, you say that the entire shift of 8 officers was moved to fresh duties. Now, why was that? Were they, in fact, suspected of violence towards the prisoners?
No, they were not. The fact is, I authorised the move largely at the request of the officers concerned.
Ah, so there was absolutely no suspicion of misconduct on the part of Mr. Hogarth?
None whatsoever.
Thank you, sir. Now, since my friend has referred to this inquiry, perhaps we could look at it in more detail.
My lord, it was an internal affair.
Well, I'm afraid that doesn't attach any privilege to it.
The incidents occurred in the autumn?
Yes?
Yes, and coincided with a move to cell block B of the man Victor Alfred Sneed.
Yes.
And that fact, was it noted by the inquiry?
Of course.
Yes. Yes, thank you, Governor.
Thank you, Governor. You may leave the court if
Thank
you
you, my lord, but naturally I wish to stay.
Oh, very well, as you please.
My lord, Mrs. Hogarth is now available to give her evidence.
Very good.
I call Betty Ann Hogarth. And how long have you been married to the accused, Mrs. Hogarth?
16 years.
You have children?
Yes, a boy, Peter.
Yes. And how old is he?
He's 15 now.
Ah. Now, in discussing the case with you, did your husband say any more than is contained in his statement?
Well, I suppose so.
Well, will you please tell us what he said?
Well, he said it was a prisoner called Sneed who'd done it, who'd beaten up Johnson.
And did he say why Sneed should have done this?
He said it was all a put-up job, that Sneed wanted to fix him.
To frame him with the assault?
Yes.
Why?
Well, this Sneed's been after him, hasn't he, for months?
Pursuing a vendetta against your husband, in fact?
Yes, for months.
And your husband told you all this when?
Well, straight after it happened.
Before the committal proceeding?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Hogarth.
Oh, Mr. Carrington, would you mind standing up for a moment, please? With your lordship's permission. Now, Mrs. Hogarth, I'd like you to look at this man, if you would. Now, forgive me for asking this, but have you at any time had a love affair with this man, Principal Officer Carrington?
I beg your pardon?
I said, have you had a love affair with this man?
No, certainly not.
Not even a passing flirtation at a staff social early last summer?
No. I don't know what rubbish he's been telling you, but it's not true. If I'd have thought he was going to say that, I'd...
Yes? But you did consort with Mr. Carrington on that occasion?
Consort? All we did was talk.
What about?
About the famous lock-in of theirs, that's all.
Ah, about the officer's work to rule. Yes. Yes, I see. Thank you, Mrs. Hogarth. Oh, and thank you, Mr. Carrington. Nevertheless, does not your husband frequently accuse you of unfaithfulness?
Well, once or twice, maybe.
Once or twice? Oh, come, madam, there's no need to be coy with us. And it is significant, surely, that you were not in court. Didn't you want to hear your husband's trial? The fact is it not, that your marriage is in a thoroughly bad way?
Bad? Well, if it is bad, it's not my fault. Oh, he'll say I've been unfaithful, all right. He's as jealous as a cat. But you want to ask him about the other side.
I'm asking you, madam.
Well, for one thing, he's never at home, is he?
Oh, you mean your husband is the one who's unfaithful?
Who, him? No, I mean he's at the blessed prison all the time. All day, all night, all weekends. Overtime, double overtime. He's supposed to do a 40-hour week, isn't he? It's nearer 70 by the time he's finished. We never see him. Never any help with the boy.
Never any help with your boy?
No. And where does it get him? Principal officer after 25 years. And now all this.
You have, in fact, left him on a couple of occasions, I believe.
Well, not permanent, mind.
The second time occurring in December, not long after he was charged with this assault.
Yes. Well, that was...
Yes, madam.
That was the strain, sir.
The strain. The strain of your having to live with a man who feels that he has failed. Failed both in his marriage and in his work.
Well, I suppose.
Thank you, Mrs. Hogarth.
Golding, you wish to re-examine?
Yes, I do, my lord. Mrs. Hogarth, I'm sure we can see how, with the tensions of your married life, you may concur with counsel's suggestion of failure. But has your husband ever said anything to make you think that he was failing in his standards as a prison officer?
Standards?
Or said anything to indicate that his frustrations might have driven him to, for instance, to abusing the prisoner?
Oh, no. No, never. That's partly his trouble, if you ask me. He's too correct, too set in his ways. Always does everything strictly by the book.
By the book? according to the tradition of the prison service.
Yes, he's traditional to the core.
Yes. Thank you, Mrs. Hogarth.
Anyway, he hasn't got the guts. He's too much of a coward.
Yes, well, thank you. No further questions, my lord. Coward, no?
That's right.
Well, we've heard your husband described as a number of things. A hard-case screw and so on, but hardly a coward.
Well, he is.
Leave it, girl, leave
No, Bill.
Mr. Hogarth, be silent. Now, do you understand?
Yes, I'm very sorry, my lord. I spoke without thinking.
Very well. Well, Mrs. Hogarth, leave what? What was it that your husband wanted you to leave?
Well, it's why I left him the first time, back last October. Because he was afraid.
Afraid of what?
The bully boys.
Last October? That was just after the drug smuggling episode, was it not?
And that's right. And that's why they did him over. Beat him up.
Who?
A couple of Sneed's bully boys. They caught Bill as he was coming out of the Queen's Arms. That's a local pub. One Saturday night and gave him a wicked beating.
Were you present?
No, but he managed to get himself home and then he told me.
I see. What makes you say, Mrs. Hogarth, that the assailants were Sneed's bully boys?
They said they were giving him a taste of what he could expect if he went after the drugs barons anymore.
The drugs baron?
Oh, yes, sir. The prisoners who run the drugs rackets inside.
I see. Well, for the benefit of the jury, I should like to make one thing quite clear. Your husband did not actually say that they named Sneed as the instigator of the assault.
No, but...
No. Now then, you say it was because of the assault that you first left home.
No, sir. It was because of the way he took it. He got snappy, started taking it out on us. He wouldn't go to the police nor the governor. He even lied to the doctor about how he got hurt. You know, all the bruises.
I see.
You know, we had a right set to over it. I threatened to go to the police and he threatened to beat me out the house if I did. Of course, if he was going to take that attitude.
So you left him?
Yes.
And then again this second time?
Well, it was over the same trouble, really. He said that Sneed or someone was trying to frame him. So I said, well, now he'd have to tell them about the first attack, but no, he still said no.
Thank you, madam. Now, Mr. Lotterby, do you want to ask some further questions?
Yes, my lord. Did he say why? Why he felt the first attack should still be concealed?
Yes.
Well? Well, Mrs. Hogarth?
Well...
Please tell us, madam.
Well, Bill thought it could look bad for him, you see. He said...
Yes?
He said it might look as though he were biding his time, waiting for a chance to get even in his own way.
A chance to get even with Sneed?
Yes.
How?
Well, by...
Yes?
Well, by trying to frame Sneed with beating up Johnson.
Trying to frame Sneed with beating up Johnson?
Yes.
So your husband wanted to frame Sneed?
Yes. Oh, no,
No, what?
No, I mean, he said it would look like that if he...
If he what, madam?
Well, if he... Oh, heavens, well, if he let on now about keeping quiet about the first attack outside the pub.
Or so he told you?
Yes.
And you disagreed?
Yes, I did.
Disagreed to such an extent that you had a bitter row and left him?
Yes.
Well, now you've had your way.
Sir?
It's all come out. The truth.
Yes. Well, I know it sounds a bit, well, you know, a bit off. I mean, leaving him at a time like that, but...
Yes.
Well, I thought perhaps maybe if I went off, if I left him, it would, well, you know, jolt him up, get him going again, get him fighting back. like he used to be.
I see.
Get him fighting back. Thank you, Mrs. Hogarth. You've been most frank with us.
My lord, I have no further questions for this witness, but in the light of this fresh evidence, I would like to recall the accused.
Certainly, Mr. Golding, we must hear more from your client. Thank you, madam. You may leave the witness box, and you may sit over there if you wish.
Yet you refrained from taking any action, refrained from reporting this assault to the police or the governor.
A fat lot of good it would have done.
What's that?
It wouldn't have helped her.
Oh, why not?
Only made more trouble.
For whom? Yourself?
He doesn't care, does he? All he cares about is precious reforms. He doesn't want to risk stirring things up.
You're referring to Mr. Price, the prison governor.
Who else? Discipline, he doesn't know the meaning of the word.
You're saying you lack confidence in him.
In him? In his assistant governors? Well, look, you put a prisoner on report for misbehaviour, insubordination, and what happens? Nothing. Report ignored. You work your life away, night, blooming day. Well, where's your promotion? They don't want to know, do they? Annual interview, what did he say? Have you ever considered training up as a dog handler, Bill, old lad? Me, 25 years in the service and a bloody dog handler. I'm sorry, my lord, I was forgetting where I was.
Very well. I can see that it might be upsetting, Hogarth.
Yes.
So, because of this lack of confidence, you kept silent about this assault outside the prison.
Yeah. She's right, of course, Betty. When I was younger, it would have been different. I'd have fought back then all right, no trouble. But why? It's because the job was different. The people. A rock. That's what a governor should be. That's what they always used to be. Men you knew for certain would back you up, respect you, take your word against the word of a prisoner. But not anymore, not this lot.
So you let it go. You took the beating and said nothing.
Yeah. Just like they know I would. The drug barons. They know who runs the stir these days.
And then when this incident occurred with Johnson and you were accused of the assault, you still kept silent. Now why?
Like Betty said, I could see it wouldn't help.
But surely, Hogarth.
My lord, I'm a prison officer. It was my duty to report that attack outside a pub, no matter what I think of Price and his lot. It was still my duty. I failed, didn't I? I failed in my duty. Me. I failed.
And because of that, you were afraid that people might think you could have failed again. Might think that you'd abused the prison service code and attacked a prisoner.
I suppose so, yeah.
Yes. Failure through fear. Well, it's a very long step from that to violence through vindictiveness. Thank you, Mr. Hogarth.
So, Mr. Hogarth, I was right about your feeling isolated. At odds with your colleagues, hated by the prisoners, beaten up outside the local, rowing with your wife who despised you as a coward. You felt increasingly alone and rejected, didn't you, Mr. Hogarth?
Maybe.
Maybe, but you were, you've just admitted it. You devised this scheme to exorcise your demon, to fix Sneed once and for all.
Well, look, how could I?
You'd already fixed him on one occasion. Maximum loss of remission and moved category B. All you had to do was nail him a second time, get him convicted on a second serious charge, such as assaulting a fellow prisoner. Then he'd really be for the high jump, as you put it. He'd get an additional sentence and move to a segregation unit.
So you say.
But as Fulchester has no segregation unit, he'd be transferred to a dispersal unit, wouldn't he? So you'd be rid of him once and for all, wouldn't you? You'd have won.
You reckon, eh? You think you'll be that easy?
Why not?
You just don't know, do you? You don't begin to know.
Oh, what else then?
It's your family, that's what.
You're not now telling us that your family was threatened? With your wife and your boy?
Yeah, my boy.
Oh, tell us. Do tell us, Mr. Hogarth.
I didn't want her to know. She'd have gone off the deep end, gone to the police.
So now you were saying they threatened violence against your son?
No, not violence. They're more crafty than that.
Oh, what then?
He already had trouble at school, hadn't he, young Peter?
Trouble?
Yeah, a fuss over some pet pills. But the next time he's out, finished. You don't think that was genuine, do you? I mean, not Peter. He's not that sort of kid, never.
Oh, so you would like to believe?
He's not, I tell you. They set him up for it. Just to show me how easy it was, the bastards.
Now, let me get this straight. You're seriously suggesting that because your boy, who, by your wife's account, you'd been neglecting, because your boy got into trouble at school over some pep pills, this must have been a frame-up to force you to lay off the drugs barons?
Yeah. And they bloody succeeded, too. Do you think I'm going to risk that boy's future? Risk it against a job that don't make sense anymore. It's a farce. Sell out. Prison service. Just a sick joke these days.
Thank you, officer.
Golding?
No further questions, my lord.
Thank you, Mr. Hogarth. You may return to the dock, please.
Lord.
That concludes the case for the defence, my lord.
Well, Mr. Lotterby?
My lord. Members of the jury, a sick joke. Well, I fear that all too accurately sums up the attitude of the accused, both to his work and to those in his custody. Now, Hogarth, he knew about Johnson's betrayal of the hooch brewing operation. He knew he could thus make it look as though Sneed was exacting vengeance on Johnson. So he deliberately set out to frame Sneed. He waited his chance, and then he struck, beating unconscious that defenseless little man Johnson at a time when he knew he could saddle Sneed with responsibility for it. But unfortunately for him, his plan went awry. Sneed had seen him enter the washroom, saw the actual assault. But instead of rushing in to help the prisoner, he had the presence of mind to call Principal Officer Carrington to the scene. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the evidence of that officer, and of Sneed, and, above all, of the victim himself. And you have heard the words of the accused, which I submit most clearly confirm his guilt of this ruthless assault.
Thank you. Mr. Golding?
Mr. Hogarth works in an obsolete county prison, crammed to excess with a ragtag mixture of offenders, many of whom are tough old recidivists, every bit of as impervious to change. No one is disputing that Mr. Hogarth is a traditionalist, and central to the Prison Service Code of Conduct is the rule of non-violence. For this man to have committed this cold-blooded assault in the manner and for the motives which have been suggested would have been as alien to him as, well, as a doctor killing his patient. Yes, there was a vendetta between these two men, Hogarth and Sneed, but the victim of it is this one man who has suffered from it all along. Quis custodit ipsos custodes, members of the jury. Who is to guard the guards themselves? Now, you are being asked today to take the word of this officer against the word of two unscrupulous criminals in whose interest it is to try and destroy him. Can you do otherwise than acquit him of this monstrous charge?
Thank you, Mr. Golding. Now, members of the jury, before reaching your verdict, I urge you to consider the main items of evidence that have been presented before you, and they are these. The prisoner Johnson was the victim of a most vicious assault which he told you was inflicted on him by the accused. Now, you must consider whether he, in relating this and his other story of angel dust drugs, exhibited any degree of uncertainty. Then you heard Principal Officer Carrington. He stated that he found the accused in the washroom standing over an unconscious man, and how it looked as though the accused had been interrupted in the act of kicking him. After this, the prisoner Sneed, a man with a long string of convictions, including fraud, who claims to have witnessed the actual assault. But this, in turn, has been strongly challenged by the accused, who says that he, the accused, was innocent and that, on the contrary, it was Sneed who committed the assault. Now, prosecuting counsel suggested at one stage that the attack by the accused was part of a calculated plan to frame Sneed. But, as a result of evidence that arose later on in the trial, counsel canvassed the possibility that under the increasing and upsetting pressures of the accused man's life, he may have reached a stage of mental frustration which could have led to a quite unpremeditated act of violence. Well, however that may be, if you think the accused made this vicious attack, then it is your duty to return a verdict of guilty. But, members of the jury, essentially, you are faced with a choice between the words of the two men, Sneed and Johnson, as against the word of the accused, Hogarth. A choice, members of the jury. And you should remember that the onus is on the prosecution to prove guilt. So that if you think there is any reasonable doubt in the accused's guilt, then you must acquit. And now, members of the jury, I will ask you to retire to consider your verdict.
All stand. Members of the jury, will your foreman please stand? Just answer this question, yes or no. Have you reached a verdict upon which you are all agreed?
Yes.
Do you find the prisoner William Peter Hogarth guilty or not guilty of the charge of wounding with intent to cause grievous bodily harm?
Not guilty.
Thank you, members of the jury. Now, I feel it is my duty, before dismissing this case, to recommend that the evidence recorded at this trial should be made available to the Director of Public Prosecutions. The man responsible for this vicious assault is still at large, and it is to be hoped that further inquiries will result in his being brought to justice. Case dismissed.
Court will rise.
Next week, you can join another jury when our cameras return to watch a leading case in the Crown Court.